It's 10 o'clock, and this is Fox 10 Talks. We have several stories that we are going to get to you this morning. And, of course, the weather's the big story. Also, the image that you see on your screen, there was just a really bad car crash in the middle of the night last night. And we're learning more about it. We're going to have that story for you coming up in about 15 minutes, but that car burned to a crisp on a major valley street. Right now, though, first of all, thank you for starting your 10 a.m. hour with us right here at Fox 10 Talks. I'm Ron Hoon, and coming up, Syleste will be joining us. But of course, on a day like this, you better believe we've got Krystal here. Wow, what a morning.
Yeah, it's been busy, right?
Uh-huh.
We've got rain over a good portion of the state already, including the valley. Got a really nice hit of rain overnight and then again this morning as well. Wet roads on the drive into work, right?
Oh, my gosh, yeah. We rolled, this is the 101 at University. So, you know, I drive that stretch of freeway very early, but it's between Mesa and Tempe, and it's between the 60 going north up to the 202. It's always bad, but this might have been the worst it's been in months. And, you know, people are moving around on these freeways. You take that 202 exit. I'm just grateful I didn't hear any reports of any accident right there at that interchange, but boy, we had the crashes all over town. Let's see, Krystal, I also thought we would just share, this is Sky Fox video. A little bit difficult to see. I don't know if we'll get a better view.
Yeah, like the visibility's a little dropped, right, from all the rain.
Yeah, and look at, some of these roads. It was the West Valley and the Northwest Valley that really got socked. And
Oof.
You could see MCSO was out there blocking off some roads. That would not have been one that you wanted to drive through. But let's get right to your maps here, because everybody wants to know what just happened and what's going to happen next.
Yeah, okay, so yesterday we were talking about this all day, that we were expecting rain would start to move in overnight and into our Tuesday morning, and that's what's happened. So that area of low pressure that was impacting California has started to glide down California. Now, it is still centered over there, which means we've still got quite some time until it's going to pass us, and it's starting to wrap rain like bands, basically, over Arizona. So that first round has started to lift north of the valley, but already you can see another one taking shape along the west edge of Maricopa County, and we are going to continue to track that moisture pulling through as we move along. So I thought it'd be kind of interesting to look at our rain totals so far, just from the rain overnight and this morning. This is numbers that are all provided by Maricopa County Flood Control District. So great. I love all the rain gauges. So helpful. And the area that's had some flooding issues, as you can see around like White Tank down to Buckeye and extending west, those are the spots where we've had 3/4 of an inch to more than an inch of rain already. In the West Valley itself, again, these are just the rain gauges at least reporting. More like around 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch, a few spots closer to 1/2 an inch of rain that has fallen. And then if we look a little farther to the north edge of the valley, a lot of spots in that 1/4 of an inch to 1/3 of an inch as well. You can see like near Deer Valley at 0.28 inches. And then over to the East Valley we go, where a lot of spots at 1/4 to 1/3 of an inch of rain. And as you go up the beeline, around 1/2 an inch of rain in spots like Fountain Hills. So some pretty healthy rain already. And we have more to come later today, tonight, tomorrow, and even Thursday morning as well. So there's that view again on Fox Vision of the scattered activity that's rolling by. And if we zoom on in, and we're looking at our radar shot. Actually, another cluster, it looks like, has started to pop up over parts of the East Valley. So we will zoom in a little bit there so we can take a closer look at where the rain is actively falling. There's the view of those showers kind of skirting on through Scottsdale and Mesa. This is mostly a light to steady rain that's moving over the 101, 202 area and up the beeline as well towards Fountain Hills. So some more rain falling as we speak in that general area. Then we look up where the last gasp of this morning's rain has started to shift, and it is heading north towards Payson. So Payson is getting its own kind of dose of showery conditions right now. If we take a look at spots like Flagstaff, there is some rain falling there. I'm switching over to more of a radar satellite view, so we've got a better image here of some of the snowflakes that are dropping over Snowball. So there has been some snow falling throughout the morning. They already have reported they've picked up 3 inches of snow, and that was what they reported early this morning, and it has been snowing quite a bit since. So they're going to end up, it looks like, with a nice nice dose of snow. Perfect timing because they open on Friday. So the cold temps means they're making snow, and then Mother Nature with the assist, it looks like, with the snow showers that are currently pulling on through. I'm going to go back to more of a statewide view so we can see again that look at where the rain and snow is falling currently.
Now, while you're working on that,
Sure.
Hey, Big D, can you, by the way, that was the voice of Celeste, who's also our professional announcer. Can you touch base with Dean and see if he can pull up that snowball cam? Yeah, Krystal, I'm really curious to see, because they really just got a dusting over the weekend. Does this feel like this could be more like, 3 or 4 inches?
Yeah, well, they've already reported they picked up 3 inches just since last night.
Okay.
And then that was early this morning. So I think they've already picked up probably a bit more since then, maybe another couple of inches since then. And it is still falling, and it will likely still fall throughout the daytime. And then remember, they've got tomorrow and Thursday as well. So we could end up with some kind of healthy amounts of snow. In fact, I'll switch over to that forecast. So through Thursday, snow showers above 7,000 to 8,000 feet are expected in our high country. This would be nighttime and morning hours. Some spots are highest elevations, maybe even into the afternoon. It could remain snow, but a lot of spots might struggle as we warm during the day. But so for Flagstaff, that means less than an inch that would likely melt, if anything. So I'm not expecting much for Flag. But as you get to like the north rim of the Grand Canyon, 36 inches. Snowball, 6 to 12 or more, depending on how we're doing this morning. I'm eager to see their latest update. And then for the White Mountains around sunrise, 4 to 8 inches, again, or more in some pockets will be possible when it comes to snow totals. So, I mean, this looks pretty good for our first kind of winter dose.
Well, I think so too.
yeah.
Linda Montreth has a question in the chat. If we can ask that at this time.
Yeah.
She says, will Safford get any of this afternoon?
Now, this is the lament of the further east you go, because even from the first system back on Friday, remember we were talking about it, and you were showing the western part of the state. Kingman was at, I think, 90% chance of moisture, and then the further as you got toward the center of the state, it was 50%. Here's Safford sitting out there, about 75 miles from New Mexico, wondering, when are we going to get something?
Yeah, so there will be moisture that moves through Safford, but it takes time. Today, not as much your day, I would say. If you watch the Futurecast and we put this into motion, you'll see that for the most part, today is another day where if you took like a pencil and you drew a line from Flagstaff to Phoenix and then you looked west, that's where the chance for storms will remain, is kind of on that little parallel. But as we go into the later part of today, we could start to see some scattered activity approaching Safford. So that's 5 o'clock this evening. This would be scattered chances. Still better, I think, in the west and northwest part of the state for us to see some showers and thunderstorms. And it's worth noting in the valley, the nature of this system is that there's going to be scattered activity. So that means sometimes you're getting it, sometimes you're not.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, and so some breaks of sunshine possible later today even though right now we're kind of decked in the clouds,
yeah,
right?
we are. If you can widen out a little bit, the original pattern, I remember watching it over the weekend, the way it was just slamming California, it was kind of moving sort of in the direction toward the northeast, because these multiple systems just kind of keep firing up south of us out into the Pacific or over into Mexico. And is that basically just kind of continuing?
Yeah, so the storms are actually coming from the northwest of us. They're coming from, that they're colder systems. It's more like our fall to winter setup. But then they're dropping on the coastline and then they're rolling across Arizona, which is very typical for us this time of year, that's sort of the pattern we fall under.
Yeah.
And if we can keep this all winter, that's what ends up bringing us a really good, winter season, because we keep getting these storms. Now, a lot of times when you're in a La Nina year, which is what we are expecting for this winter, it ends up that the storm track stays too far to the north and these storm systems all run north of us and we kind of miss out. Good news is it looks like really weak La Nina, and weak La Ninas don't necessarily follow the typical La Nina pattern. So we're not writing off winter, and this is a good start for sure. But this is what you were talking about. There's that area of low pressure out near LA right now with the moisture that's being forced up and around it. Remember, rotation of winds goes counterclockwise around areas of low pressure. So that's what's dragging moisture from the ocean up and over us to trigger all these showers. So then as we continue to trek along through today and into tomorrow morning, it's going to start to force a cold front our direction. It dips kind of directly to the west-southwest of us tomorrow tomorrow morning, and then it goes right across the state throughout the day on Wednesday. And as that happens, we will continue to see scattered on and off showers and storms throughout the day Wednesday, also through Wednesday night, and even into, I would say, Thursday morning. This model's a little slow, I think. At this point, it'll likely start to get kind of sucked up into the general pattern and move along. But this is a nice extended period of some shower and storm activity possible for us in Arizona, which is always great because fall season can sometimes be quite dry, you know?
Oh, gosh, yes.
Yeah,
Here, let's share a couple more of the videos that Jeff cut for us this morning, Jeff Haggerty, in editing. This is what it looked like for hundreds of thousands of people on the roads today. Just about everywhere you went, the driving could be pretty tough. I mean, the windshield workers were working at max if you had that capability as you were driving around early this morning. And then just more here. This is conveniently enough for one of our photojournalists, you only have to step like 3 steps out of the building and you get the rain that was pouring at the Fox studios. And then, Krystal, I love the shot that you had up a little earlier this morning from out there in Goodyear.
Oh, yeah.
Where all the palm trees were standing in kind of the early morning light.
Oh, yeah, there it is right there.
Look at that's like a calendar shot.
Yeah, that's really beautiful.
Rain in the desert.
Goodyear ballpark area, yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay.
nice.
Well, we got about a minute left. What else did you want to show us?
Sure. I just thought we'd wrap up with rain totals, or potential rain totals at least. This is just one model projection, but I think it's doing a pretty good job. The rest of today into tomorrow, anywhere from right around 1/4 of an inch to 3/4 of an inch for parts of the valley, although some spots could be more than an inch, especially as we're seeing already in the West Valley. And then the hot spot will really be just north of the valley, stretching to like Mojave County, where 2+ inches of rain in these next 2 days is possible. But I know, again, I want to answer that question for Safford and eastern Arizona. While today is fairly quiet, overnight and into tomorrow, that's when more scattered storms will reach eastern Arizona, including Safford. And you can see this model still has around 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch of rain possible for parts of the Graham and Greenlee County area. So there will be rain that way. It's just going to take a little more time. But the best bet for the heaviest rain is that like northwest corner of the state, Coconino, Yavapai, Mojave counties.
You know, quick note to mention also, because of those low-lying clouds, ground delay right now at Sky Harbor this morning. And then there was one last night as well for about 45 minutes or so because of the low-lying clouds. So right now at Sky Harbor, if you have flights coming in from other cities, they're probably delayed on the tarmac in those cities awaiting their arrival, or potentially even kind of making a go-around or something like that, because it's hard for pilots to get through that cloud cover.
Nothing worse than a go-around. You're getting so close to the valley. You've been on a plane for 4 hours, and you're like, go ahead and just land it.
Unless you're in first class and they're offering you another meal. Then you can
I don't know what that's like. So,
Krystal, always great. We appreciate it.
Thanks,
and boy, it's going to be a busy, looks like at least today, tomorrow, and maybe Thursday as well.
Yeah, I think by Friday, the meteorologists in the valley are going to be tired.
Yes, but everyone is celebrating.
All right, Krystal, we always love it. We always appreciate it, and we always learn some new stuff from you.
Good to
So
see you.
really interesting to see what's going on. Okay, we are going to take a break now. The mystery cam.
Yes.
We're officially going to be doing it later in the show because we have so much kind of breaking news that we're going to be getting into. By the way, later this morning, we're going to be chatting with Josh Kolsrud.
Yes, we are.
One of the great attorneys here in town on the Epstein files. We're also going to get an update on what's going on in the Allison Feldman murder case. But right now, we'll take a break. All right, so there you are. And again, that may be the actual mystery cam, but we're just holding off because we got so much going on. Syleste, I just thought, at the beginning of the show, we mentioned that we were going to try to cover a little bit more. These pictures were just so shocking of the car that burst into flames in the middle of the night. And you can see that this, by the squad car that's out there, Glendale PD responding. This is 49th Avenue and Peoria. And so the one car that rolled over ended up just being engulfed in flames, and almost like the story we had a couple of days ago where there was a really bad kind of a front end crash that involved, well, yesterday it was two semis and an SUV, and then last week there was one where you couldn't even make out that it was still a vehicle. And once again, we can tell you that nobody was seriously hurt in this one as well. So apparently what happened was, kind of happened, by the way, you can see at this point firefighters are on scene, and so you see mostly just the smoke. But earlier, you got a glimpse of the way that fire was absolutely roaring. But what happened was that the vehicle rolled over, struck a power pole, and so then you had a bunch of people. Now, fortunately, it wasn't one of these nights like we have in the summertime where it's like 94 degrees and 94% humidity. I mean, the weather was relatively easy to have to deal with, but you had a lot of people who lost power in that area around 49th Avenue, Peoria. If you were in Glendale and you were wondering why, well, SRP crews got out there ASAP to work to fully restore electricity in that area. But again, our first responders doing a great job to make sure that that situation could get resolved and everybody could be either rescued or checked out before they could put a wrap on it. Okay, Syleste. Mm-hmm. Look who's here.
It's
hey,
Trenton.
guys.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You've been covering the Allison Feldman case, my friend.
Yes.
Interesting developments yesterday. I know we don't have a ton of great video or anything to show, but some great developments.
Yeah. Well, first, there were a lot of witnesses that took the stand yesterday. We had two of the responding officers to the scene. They were talking about what they witnessed when they went inside. And again, this narrative of everyone who steps through Allison's home, the first thing they're hit with is that smell of Clorox bleach cleaner, strong, harsh chemicals that were inside. So a lot of that, and then describing where her body was, and then also her bedroom. But then right before we went to lunch break, her father, Harley Feldman, took the stand talking about his daughter, and more on the part that was interesting was the push with the familial DNA, because he was the catalyst to get it going, actually.
Was that new information that he shared in
A little
court?
bit.
Yeah.
In the cross-examination, that was interesting to see where the defense attorney was pushing him to say, like, you are the reason, correct, that this entire familial DNA got introduced to the investigation. And he agreed. He said, yeah, that's correct.
I think we have some of that sound. Let's listen in.
I want to talk to you briefly about your relationship with Alex, okay?
Sure.
After
Alex is the boyfriend,
Allison's
right?
death, you invited Alex to Minnesota, correct?
Yes.
And you invited him to eulogize her, correct?
Yes.
And for the next couple of years, you stayed in contact with Alex, correct?
Yes.
You didn't think he was the one that killed Allison, correct?
Never.
You knew that the Scottsdale Police Department hadn't ruled him out for quite some time, correct?
That's correct.
So for you, that unknown DNA, that PMH, was key, correct?
Yes.
And you worked with the Scottsdale Police Department to get the familial DNA search, correct?
I worked with the governor and the attorney general to see if we could make it legal.
And you were kind of the person who was the catalyst for that to be used in this case. Is that correct?
Yes.
And
Right. Well, the fact that he went all the way to the governor's office, I find that really fascinating.
Yeah, for sure. Initially, of course, when they took the DNA samples and they were able to build a male profile of who they suspected was Allison's killer, They ran that into the CODIS system, didn't get a hit initially. And then we go on where, it's about 2 years later in 2017. And that's where the push where we need to do a investigative genetic genealogy, really the first use of that to have that hit.
So he's from what state again?
Arizona.
The father lives here.
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Right.
So that is one of when I took a look, that is one of 16 states that have active familial DNA programs. So maybe he saw it in his home state being used, and he thought, can this help us find my daughter's killer?
Yeah.
And then that maybe. I mean, obviously, we're just guessing as to why he may have done this or what the motive was. But if he lives in Minnesota, it is one of 16 states that already use this type of detective work.
Yeah. Well, and it's important to go back because this is also exactly the time where the Golden State Killer was identified through familial DNA. National headlines with that being so revolutionary, at least in law enforcement, where this was an open genetic data source and they were able to match through that as opposed to, collecting a sample and then putting it into their system.
What the fact that the alarming thing that kind of came up was the fact that she had been shopping for a firearm in the days before her murder. What was kind of the information that you gathered from the court proceedings and why that was important?
Yeah, so her boss and former coworker testified on the stand with a medical products company that they were working on, and just talking about their relationship, and they had a very platonic friendship, a very close group of coworkers, and he testified that in the days before she was murdered, they had exchanged a few conversations about her interest in wanting to get a gun. And on cross-examination too, it came out that she went even shopping for a firearm with her boyfriend. Now, pushed a little bit about, was there a specific threat? This gentleman couldn't really point to one per se, but just said that it was a general feeling that she wanted one. And I know they had talked too about going back to 2015 that there were some headlines with different terrorist activity that had happened with I believe an ISIS attack with security had came up, but really he thought it was concerning that Scottsdale PD need to know the days before she wanted a gun.
Now, when are we going to hear from the boyfriend in the case?
So we already did hear from the boyfriend, Alex.
Okay.
He testified that he was the first witness that was called by prosecutors. Now,
but did he address that at all, the conversations that he had with Allison regarding the gun?
No, did not come up, which I thought was interesting. Now, a lot that was focused on was first their relationship in the weeks before Allison was murdered. They had gone on a trip to Europe. There was claims of some missing cash during that trip, possibly some jewelry as well. And then during the cross examination as well, it was more on the relationship. How close were they? He had not spent the final night of her life with her. He said he was studying for a real estate exam, and of course he discovered her body the next day. So really pushing on that, and our legal experts, when we were discussing, what are they trying to thread in this needle? Just trying to point the reasonable doubt of was this really the person that was closest to her and had a... Did
your legal experts give any indication, when you think big picture about her shopping for a gun, feeling threatened before her death? Mitchum, obviously, the case is that they met that night or she didn't know him before. Does it at all give any juice to the defense?
Oh, that's a really good question. So again, we have a mountain of evidence, molehill of motive in this case.
Including the familial DNA, right? But then that you bring that whole thing up that she already felt this sense of danger, which it leads you to believe, was there some other danger that she felt before?
Right. Again, prosecution hasn't gotten into that, which I think we're all on pins and needles trying to find. Are they going to introduce a witness that knew her well enough to say, there were days before where she was feeling this attack on her security?
Now,
something was going on.
Tell us your plan for today.
So we're going to have Josh Kolsrud is going to join us in just a little bit to break down what happened yesterday. And I mean, the big thing yesterday also, a majority of the time was spent with a crime scene specialist with Scottsdale PD. And it's the rigmarole of the mountain of forensic evidence with trying to go through it and how that can be difficult too. And we're going to really get into how do you keep the jury engaged, but at the same time, it might be some dry information when you're trying to make this case about he did it.
All right. That's on the other YouTube channel. That starts in 5 minutes, right?
In just a little bit. We're on a 30-minute delay, but yeah, we'll be there.
All right.
So hang with us.
Okay. And so...
Trenton, thank you.
Yeah, Trenton, always a wealth of information. There's a controversy in Scottsdale, Celeste. You may have heard about this.
Which one? What is it,
They
Ron?
want to build some apartments up there by the new Axon headquarters. This is the company that used to be called Taser International.
Have they seen downtown Phoenix, the number of apartments we've built down here?
There are quite a few people like living downtown, and we have a housing crisis.
We do.
And so the company had come up with this idea of, well, what if we built not just an HQ, but some living space for potentially for a lot of our employees. They could be basically right here on site. Well, people living nearby, the idea of apartments near them, boy, they don't like that one bit. But there was a compromise last night, surprisingly, at the Scottsdale City Council meeting. Take a listen. Stand by. Hold on. What?
The special interest group involved in this, TASE, who ran the referendum on us, had offered us a deal of 700 apartments and 750 condos for a total density of 1,450. They understood that we were acting in good faith all along here, and we were trying to get a deal that would work for everyone. And in fact, we got to a better deal than TASE even wanted.
Disappointing but predictable. I think that's something to think about, and that's certainly what we'll be working on for the next election, is to remove the people who, as I say, betrayed the residents.
Ultimately, we hope to break ground early next year. Look, we're excited to get back to our jobs.
And one of the questions now, what with the city kind of signing off on it, the fact that they lowered the density of the total number of apartments, and I'm sure that a lot of people that have been active in this particular controversy probably live very close, within a block or 2 or 6 or 10 or whatever, from where those apartments are going to be built. So we'll just keep following it. Will the lawsuit proceed? But now that the city has basically signed off on it with Axon, we may be getting closer to the final chapter.
Maybe Scottsdale, excuse me, in working through this, they can work through maybe one of the arguments from the group is they say it's going to cause too much traffic. Maybe they can widen the roads.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Make it easier on people who live in that part of town.
Okay, yeah. Or figure out a different way to do like the ingress and egress and still work with them. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But now it is time for a break. And is this the mystery cam? Yeah.
If
yes,
it is,
actually it is.
If it is, it's in Sequoia Park.
Yes. We'll be right back. Okay.
Ron?
Yeah,
If
Celeste.
this is a mystery camera, my friend.
Yeah, I know. It's a new approach. We give you the answer so you can still guess. No, we're kidding.
We give you, so if you're smart enough to read what's on the screen.
Yeah. Boy, I guess the Sequoia National Parks are really quite beautiful. Look at that shot, huh?
So, and it looks like it could be raining there of some,
Yeah,
they're
no
off to the
kidding.
right.
Well, you know
Is
what?
that a roadway there? Look, Ron, off to the right.
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty.
No guardrail. Let's get working on that. You better contact ADOT. They know how to build a guardrail.
Yes, they do.
Callie. All right, so let's just see what's going on now here at 10:30. Celeste, by the way, you had mentioned, I'm
Yes,
just
sir.
looking, do we have a live cam up? Do you guys see of Sky Harbor anywhere? I don't know. But, yeah, we had heard earlier about a ground stop, so hopefully it's been lifted.
I think there were 93 flights that were on a ground delay as of about,
whiz.
I think it was like about 9:30, about an hour ago.
Okay.
And so we saw some of those delays yesterday, some of those this morning because of the low cloud ceiling.
Yeah.
We don't see that very often.
No,
I mean,
we sure don't.
we call this place Sky Harbor for a reason because, we got planes in and out all the time and, it's pretty...
That's that thing about that airport. Have you noticed
It's a
that?
very busy place.
I mean, planes constantly in and out.
All the time.
I would prefer it if they just came in. They're way noisier when they go out.
So, it's called Sky Harbor, Ron. Not like a
Correct.
boat harbor, but it's a Sky Harbor.
Oh, these airports with these planes.
By the way, we're going to do the mystery camera at 10:45. Dean Fazzino, the great Dino Fazzino, is going to bring it back for you at 10:45. So we want to bring it to you
That
later.
whole situation with the airport reminds me of one of my favorite lines in the movies where it's about, I think it might have been that movie with Michael Keaton called The Newspaper.
Oh.
I think it was from there, but one of the bosses is complaining about how many columnists that they have at the newspaper. And he said, the biggest problem with these columnists?
Yeah.
They reek of opinions.
Ron, I believe we do have Sky Harbor. Do you see it right here on the bottom?
Okay,
Let's go ahead and we
let's
can go
pop it up.
Let's see if it's cleared up just a little bit. So it has. Maybe the ground stop has now been lifted or ground delay.
We can watch that one plane right there. Hopefully it's making the turn to get over. Then we'll be able to visually confirm it because I don't see anything taking off right now or anybody getting in line. But that one plane is parked right there. Maybe that's that one anxious pilot who's like, I still got to get home to my wife this afternoon. I got a whole honey-do list. We put these pilots on a pedestal, as we should. I mean, they have lives in their hands, but they still have regular lives. They want to try to keep a schedule, too.
They got to get the honey-do list, Ron.
Yeah.
They have to maybe work on that door frame. They got to do the grocery shopping, the whole thing. It's like a big deal.
Now that I look at it, is that a plane over there to the left on the runway over to the left? I think I see lights. I don't know. Maybe I'm hallucinating. Oh, yep. Look, we have action. I think that one plane to the left is taking off, and we're going to be able, Celeste, to confirm.
Okay, we're going to hold this shot for all of you.
Yeah, we are. Because I was a little surprised. I mean, it was poor visibility even at like 5 or 6 this morning, but I don't think they announced the ground stop till like 8:30 or 9.
Well, you're right.
The
first one was around 8:30, and then the second one was later in the 9 o'clock hour. But because this is, here it is, Ron. It's taken off.
We have confirmation. We have liftoff. We've never been so excited about a liftoff since something at Cape Canaveral. Anyway, obviously the ground stop has been
lifted.
Because, I mean, you can see all the way to downtown and beyond, so no need to have a ground stop.
And I don't know if Al Tennis Pro, or if you're new to the chat, welcome, my friend, to the friendliest chat on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
And we're loving your name.
Is it Al Tennis Pro or AI Tennis Pro?
Oh, is it a robot?
Amazing.
Are you a
today.
robot tennis pro?
Okay,
and here's a question for you.
Tell us where you're watching from.
If you are a tennis pro,
yeah.
What are your thoughts on pickleball? Because most people that I meet who are tennis pros are not fans of pickleball and vice versa.
Oh, I hear you, Celeste. Okay. So here's what happened. Some of the victims of Jeffrey Epstein spoke on the steps of the Capitol this morning, and we were rolling. Coming up in, 2 minutes, Josh Kolsrud, attorney, is going to give us his take on kind of the legal ins and outs of this Epstein case and where it stands right now and moving forward. But first, take a listen to this. Also, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
And then get upset when your own party goes against you because what is being done is wrong. It's not right. For your own self-serving purposes, this is America. This is land of the free. Land of the free. In 1863, we have a woman on top of the Capitol building represent freedom. I do not feel free today. I don't know if the women behind me feel free today.
For too long, survivors have watched others speak for us. And while we are grateful for our allies in Congress on both sides, we've realized something. This fight belongs to us. We lived it, and we know the truth.
I would just like to give a little reminder that this was me at 14 years old. I was a child. I was in 9th grade. I was hopeful for life and what the future had held for me. He stole a lot from me at 14. So just a little reminder there for everybody. Sorry.
And we keep getting asked this. What does justice mean, you ask? It starts with acknowledgement. That's the first step. Acknowledge in the face of survivors that this happened and that this is true. Your vote carries that weight. My sister is not a political tool for you to use. These survivors are not political tools for you to use. These are real stories, real trauma, and it's time for you to stop just talking about it and act.
Okay, so now we have Josh joining us this morning, local prominent attorney. Josh, first of all, is it even necessary to have an act of Congress to release these files?
Good question. And it, of course, because I'm a lawyer, the answer is it depends. So earlier this year, the appellate court for the D.C. Circuit actually ruled on this issue and refused to release the Epstein files, citing that part of them were grand jury transcripts, others related to victims, and then they also said that a lot of them were under seal and that they weren't going to allow the DOJ to release these files. So what Congress did is they're trying to pass an act that would force the release of unclassified documents to the public. But what does that really mean? Because does it include everything we just talked about? The answer is most likely no. And not only that, so it won't include anything that's under seal, grand jury transcripts, or has anything to do with victims. So that takes out a huge amount of documents. It also does not include classified documents. And we don't even know how many classified documents there are in this case. So, you know, what's the significance here? Well, there still is around 100,000 documents, a treasure trove of names, dates, and people that had relationships with Epstein. And, you know, the public can forgive a lot, right? You know, they can forgive money problems, they can forgive a speeding ticket, but what they can't forgive is some type of cozy relationship with one of the most notorious sex traffickers in really U.S. history. And there are going to be a lot of names, people at the top of the pyramid here that did have relationships with Jeffrey Epstein.
But will those names be either classified, not classified, blacked out? And we won't know who the big names are from the business world, Hollywood, the world of politics, even with the release?
I predict no. So right now, the House is still the bill is still in the House, and it has to pass the House, and it looks like it will. And I think the reason why Trump had a complete about phase here is that he knows that it's going to pass the House. So he kind of wants to get behind the bill knowing that it's going to pass. But it still hasn't been picked up by the Senate. And the Senate has not indicated whether or not they're going to bring it up for a vote. And anybody that knows anything about how a bill passes, once a bill passes one of the houses, it goes to the second house or the second part of the Congress. And, you know, it goes through the meat grinder. And it's going to go through the meat grinder in the Senate, and they're going to make additions, subtractions, and it's not going to look anything like what we're talking about right now. And one of the things that people aren't talking about as well is it also includes all the Maxwell documents. But just like the Epstein documents, are they going to be all blacked out? You know, are they going to be like, how much information are we really going to receive? Because a couple of weeks ago, they released 30,000 documents,
Yeah.
but 97% of them were already public knowledge. So it was like, what did we really learn here?
And 3 emails were selectively released.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So Marjorie Taylor Greene today in that speech up on the steps of the Capitol said she would just go down onto the floor of the House and start reading the names, that she's seen the documentation. Can she do that? Will they try to shut her down?
Well, she is certainly trying to make a name for herself to protect victims and victims' rights.
Sure.
Can she do that? I think that she has to follow the law. So if there is something that's classified, and let's say that she reads something classified onto the air or publicly, that's actually a crime, and she can be arrested for that. So she would be risking her political career, maybe even her freedom, if she were to do something like that.
There was Ghislaine Maxwell gave that 9-hour interview over the summer, I think, to the U.S. Deputy Attorney General over the summer. If what is released in the files contradicts what she shared in her interview, what does that do to her fate?
Well, that's a good question. So she's in a cush minimum security prison right now, and that was because she cooperated. Now, if these documents contradict what she said, a couple of things could happen. Number one, her placement in that facility would be revoked and she would be sent back to whatever maximum security prison she was at before. But also, if she was placed under oath during that conversation she had with authorities, she could potentially be charged with perjury, which is a felony, and she could have additional time tacked onto her sentence.
Interesting.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, so there's still a long way to go. By the way, Josh, thank you so much for your input on this. Our poll question looks like this. If you haven't voted yet, grab that QR code. We're going to be up against the break, and yes, we have the mystery cam coming right up.
Yes, we do.
But on this feud, who are you with? Who's right? Trump, 51%. If he'd done anything wrong, it would have come out years ago. 45% say, I'm with Marjorie Taylor Greene. She just cares about the victims, so I'm with her. And then 4%, they both are. Let's just get to the truth. We also have the YouTube poll. We're going to get with that. And, of course, Dave's looking at your comments right now. So he's coming up, too, right after the break that finally introduces you. Really? This is our mystery cam. Okay, glad we finally got to it. Look at that lonely-looking city, Celeste, with about 8, maybe 7 high-rises.
I think I saw one bird.
We'll be right back. All right. Now, this, Celeste, is a pretty good mystery cam. By the way, I have a thing where I don't like when the whatever camera, this is a mounted camera or a photographer or whatever, shoots into the sun. Because it's a little bit more difficult, and you can clearly tell the shadows are coming toward you.
And that is pretty.
So I wonder, this is a smaller city. They've got a few high rises, but boy, I mean, it's, I don't know, maybe a half a dozen of the taller buildings. Other than that, I have no idea, but I'm going to guess.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess Ohio.
Ohio. That's a pretty good guess, Ron. Look how busy the roadways are.
Yeah, you know Ohio.
They're workers.
Oh, those cars. They are moving.
They are worker bees.
Yeah.
It's a big union state. Is it a union state? Big union state there,
yeah,
huh? Maybe?
It's very interesting that you bring that up because it's also a red-leaning state, which it had been more blue about 30 years ago, and it's just gradually become a little more conservative politically. But Oklahoma says Louis Gonzalez. Brandon says Hawaii. Interesting.
And Texas for Jens Wall. Quick note, Al Tennis Pro is new.
Okay.
He said, I think he's French. He says, he said he's French, and he said, let's play pickleball. By the way, can't wait for the Mesa PPA in February, which I think is like the Professional Pickleball Association event.
Right.
Yeah, so usually tennis pros, they're a little like that when it comes to pickleball, but he says bring it on.
Okay. These tennis pros. Yeah, they're kind of like this, kind of like that.
And my apologies. I have allergies, Ron. I do have allergies. Like it's just like this little. It's so weird.
It totally affects your performance. Sometimes you can barely think straight.
I am so sorry.
Don't be.
On another note, we've got Tulsa from Jared of Sonora.
Oh, I kind of like that one.
I do too.
So it could be Oklahoma, could be Ohio. By the way, Celeste, since you just mentioned that Al, our favorite new commentator. Hi, Al. We hope you'll come back and chat with us now, time and again. In the last 7 days, Celeste, here are the countries that have been viewing our live streaming shows.
Thank you, Ron.
On Fox 10 Talks. Ready? USA number 1, obviously. Number 2, Canada. Number 3, the UK. Number 4 is Brazil.
Okay, Brazil.
Number 5 is Germany. Number 6 is Mexico. And can I hear it for number 7?
Uzbekistan.
Uzbekistan is once again in the top 10. We have to take our show on the road. Dave, do we have that kind of budget where we could do the show from Uzbekistan one of these days?
We have so much budget, guys.
Wait, hold on. I can't hear you there, buddy.
Amount.
One more time. What?
Oh, I just said we have so much budget.
I didn't hear him yet. No.
Normally, when I punch up his camera,
the mic's automatically
the mic automatically pops up. Give us a little
hello.
1, 2, 3.
While we work his mic out, he says we have so much budget.
Yeah. He's like, why don't we do every one of the countries you just mentioned?
I love that.
Ron, that's a great idea.
I just don't know. I mean, what is it about our show that's appealing to, for example, Brazil, where they speak Portuguese, or Germany? Now, I do speak a little Deutsch. Mexico, you are fluent in Spanish.
Yes,
Uzbekistan, that's
and I'm Mexican, Ron. I don't know if you knew this, but I am Mexican.
Nice. But I feel like our Uzbekistan show is going to be kind of challenging because I don't think English is their first language. I'm sure they speak Uzbek or something.
Maybe they understand you though, Ron.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
You know where we could do it? I just Googled Uzbekistan. They have this beautiful mosque.
Look at this.
We can do it on the mosque.
Hello, everybody. First, Dave's mic's not working. Secondly, we're doing a Zoom within a stream inside a TV station. What is going on?
Are we, oh my God, Ron.
Now, here's the thing. Because it's a streaming show, all we can ever do is laugh at ourselves.
What are you going to do?
I mean, if this was actual TV, broadcast TV, people would be pulling out their hair. The boss would be flinging the door open.
Oh, wait, hold on, Ron. Here comes the boss. I'm just kidding.
All right, let's try Dave one more. Hold on. Okay, let's try Dave on. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's just see if any. Oh, this is going to be great, Celeste. Now none of our cameras are working.
Wow,
there's my camera. There's your camera.
Okay, well let's go with the answer to the mystery camera. Should we? Indiana from Two Old Farts 2.0.
Okay.
But
I can't even pull up the mystery cam.
I know.
Now I'm trying to remember it. Okay. Anyway, yeah.
So RLS Vid says we can hear him fine. Yeah, Mike Fernandez says, I thought they just wanted him to keep saying it.
Really? So we can't hear Dave Holy cow.
But everybody out there can hear him.
Okay.
Yeah. So
We're going to do some
that's good enough.
rewiring on in our studio later today. But
Okay,
all right.
so all right,
Great.
here's
Ready?
the
Here
answer.
comes your answer.
Here's your answer
for the
to
mystery
mystery camera.
Yep.
Ron, what did you say?
I said Ohio. I thought it was maybe Dayton.
Oh, there's you, Ron.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
so it's
good.
Brookhaven, Georgia.
Really?
I don't know if we had a Georgia. We had a Tulsa, Hawaii,
think we
Texas,
did.
Oklahoma. We had 2 Oklahomas.
Brookhaven sounds like it would be a suburb community.
Yeah.
Let's just see here. Brookhaven.
That is a great shot. It's a frame within a
Georgia.
frame. There's something called a frame within a
isn't it?
frame in TV
Uh-huh.
where, like, you want to shoot through a door. And you
Oh,
want to shoot
yeah.
what's in the door or through a window. And then you're
Yeah.
shooting what's in the window, but you're outside the window, and it's called frame within a frame.
Yes.
That's what we're bringing people at home.
Well, you
this
know,
morning.
on our TV show, we did picture in picture today with the graphic of the weather system as the rain was moving
Oh,
across.
yeah,
So we've done that.
absolutely.
By the way, yes, it is a suburb of Atlanta. And it is, northeast of downtown Atlanta by only about 8 miles or so.
And RLS Vid says trippy. Mm-hmm. And no drugs.
Look at this.
Included in this.
Now look, I'm up here. Okay.
Ron, good
And
hair.
Celeste.
Ron's got good hair.
Hey, the New Times selected me once it was Phoenix Magazine.
Best hair?
Best anchor hair.
Wow.
Can you see it right there? Thank you.
I know why. I can see exactly why.
There you go. But we've got Celeste on camera right now, too. All right. So we were going to talk about your story of the day, Celeste,
Yes.
because apparently there's now a law, or there has been a law that says you can't honk if you pull up to a sandwich shop. Now, what is this all about, Celeste?
So, Ron, we've had lots of crazy laws on the books, not just here in Arizona, but all around the world
Right.
from like a century ago.
Okay.
Right? I mean,
Sure.
like when, people traveled out west and you were like, hey, this is going to be a city.
Sure.
And we're going to draw up a constitution and we're going to have laws on the books.
These cities with their constitutions. Old Uncle Sam back in D.C. is like,
Or state. I mean,
that's all right.
state.
There's only one, and it's us, Wichita.
Well, we do have a state constitution, right?
Yes.
Like the state.
Oh, this is so fun, actually. This is great.
So, anywho,
Yeah.
the deal is in this one, anywho, Ronald.
Yes, Celeste, you're doing great. Anyway, you can't honk at a sandwich shop anymore?
No.
Or you
no.
never could?
No honking at sandwich shops. You never could.
Okay.
And here's the thing is because it's illegal.
Okay.
It's in Little Rock, Arkansas that
Oh,
this
good.
is happening.
Here's the actual script if you would like it.
I found it now.
Okay.
It's in Little Rock, Arkansas, and this is something that dates back to the 1920s
Yep.
when drive-ins were getting popular.
Okay.
Like there's this place, you may know this,
Yeah.
in Seattle called Dick's.
Yeah.
And they have one of the best burgers in all the world.
It's super cheap.
It's super cheap.
They got one in Spokane, too.
And you
Yep.
drive up, but there's no driving. You drive up,
Yeah.
but
Get
that's
out
when
of
they
the
made it
car.
illegal in
Sure.
Little Rock, Arkansas. They
Can't
made that
honk.
illegal. You can't honk when you're out there. Just get out of the
Okay.
car, walk 5 feet, and ask, hi,
So
ma'am.
why did it become a news story today? Do we know? Who knows? Huh?
Just because.
Okay.
Yeah, just because folks are talking about it.
Let's go to Dave because, first of all, we can see him. We can't hear you, Dave, but everybody else in the world
Everybody else can hear me.
What
yeah.
are you seeing by the way, the YouTube poll question, Celeste? Look at this. Trump in a feud with
Wow.
MTG. Who's right? 25% say Trump. If he'd done anything wrong, would have come out years ago. 47% say I'm with Marjorie. And 28% say, they both are. Can we just get to the truth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, let's go to Big D.
Big D. All right. Hi, friends. So, James Doesn't Matter says Trump-Marjorie Taylor Greene feud is over President Trump not endorsing her in the Georgia Senate race, where she has only 12% in polls. Then she started throwing shade on The View and made it about Epstein so people wouldn't see it was because Trump didn't endorse her for Senate. Natasha Fitness Yoga Pilates says, what a joke. You do know Trump could have released those files without the House and Senate having to vote at all. Right? And finally, Kev N 1976 says Trump should have released the files like he said he would. Looks bad calling his supporters names because they want the truth. We already know there will be zero accountability. Release the files and respect your supporters. Great hearing everybody's perspectives. Keep them up, guys.
Yeah,
Excellent.
thank you. Yeah, great stuff.
Okay. So then the other thing is that when we know that we've connected with you on these poll questions, boss came to me 6 months ago and said, let's do a poll question
Yeah.
on the streaming show. And I'm like, sure, let's try it. I think the first day we got like 100 votes.
Ron, would
Next
you
day
tell
we got
would you tell
200
the boss no?
No, well,
No, boss.
believe me.
No, boss.
I was the memos. I was back and forth. It'll never work. No, but when we know we're connecting with you, like yesterday's poll question, and we're going to do a poll queue requeue. Stand by. I have the graphic information that. Oh wait, we're going to talk about that later. The poll queue requeue. Stand by, everybody. Do we have the graphics for the poll? Oh, we could be in trouble. What?
Graphic 3.
Okay, I'm going to try.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, go back.
Well, no, graphics 3. I'm punching graphics 3, and I just get more Syleste, which is a great shot. We're going to be talking about this in a little while. But anyway, on the poll queue requeue, maybe off the top of your head, Dave, do you remember what those numbers look like?
I can bring it up if you want me to.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Big D. This guy.
Big D to the rescue.
Dave
Hello,
is like
friends.
a walking, talking Wikipedia. Did you ever notice that?
He is. He knows everything.
What do you got, Dave? What was the... Okay. Believe me, there's a story. Oh, this is all that's left. Fade to black. Okay. Anyway, Dave, go ahead.
Go back to me? There you go.
Yeah, go ahead. What did you see on yesterday? Almost 10,000 votes, right?
9.4 thousand votes. President Trump says he now wants all the Epstein files released. Your take? Good. He says he did nothing wrong. This should prove it. 40%. He had to. Fighting it made it look like he was hiding something. 29%. And maybe we can finally get to the truth. I don't trust his denials. And then let me go to a couple of the comments from him.
Perfect.
Big Dopamine 9343 says he's still hiding it. He's just saying he wants it released. It's a shift in his PR strategy, not his actual position. And Fran9 says if he wanted to prove his innocence, he wouldn't have spent a year fighting tooth and nail to keep it from being released while his people scrubbed his name from every page. Really interesting comments. As always, we love hearing from you guys. Keep it up.
Hey, in the last 5 seconds, we started hearing Dave, so I'm not quite sure happened about 5 or 10 seconds ago, but we're good now.
But we have all kinds of people in here working on this. This is awesome.
It's a whole committee, Syleste.
Sorry, Ron, let's go back to that photo if we can real quick.
Syleste, we have 10 seconds left on today's show,
Okay.
so we're going to do that tomorrow.
Oh.
You want to?
Yeah, let's do it tomorrow.
Well, because I have a couple surprises for you,
you
too.
do? Okay,
regarding
great.
This is the photo that hold on, I'll show it
that's
to
a
you.
great photo.
This is okay. We still can't do graphics anyway. There it is. This is the photo that has the whole newsroom talking. Why?
Because I was in Oklahoma City.
And you're going to find out the whole story tomorrow morning.
This is we like to call a deep tease.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See
more to come on this, friends.
We'll
tomorrow.
see you in 23 hours. If you would like
Have
to
a
come
great
back
day.
and maybe give us a try.
Come join the fun bus.
here we go. Here we go again.
Happy Tuesday. Look at these dark, cloudy, ominous skies behind us.
We don't see that often, do we?
We don't, and we are loving it. So we thought we'd get another check of the weather. You have been very busy today. You have been running from studio to studio, updating everybody, our web team. So thank you for taking the time to talk to us at 11 o'clock.
My honor.
Is it?
Always. Just getting myself situated here.
Do we want to take another look outside? Oh, wait, we just disappeared. I thought there was a different shot. That's kind of cool. Watch this, like, doing.
Oh, wow. You just dropped the key.
Ready? Ding. I thought we had that other shot.
So we had rain in the valley, and it would look like.
Oh, this is the shot I was looking for. This is the.
That's a nice one.
Tempe cam. There you go.
Okay, so, what day is it? Tuesday only?
We don't know.
Here's the view on Fox Fishing, guys. You guys got kind of a little rain this morning?
A little. Mine at
I
my
was
house
up at 1:45 and there was rain, and then it stopped a little bit on my drive-in.
Yeah, it rained overnight. And then it rained this morning, and there is still some showers near the valley, but actually now most of the bulk rain is north of the valley, which is what we were expecting and which is what's going to continue to be the case today. But again, tomorrow there will be more scattered activity, especially north of the valley. So we'll take a little radar tour. First, we'll dive into around the valley. Scattered showers have been lifting north, so you can see there's a little bit of moisture on like the foothills just outside of the East Valley, but otherwise mostly quiet. Just to the west of the valley, though, is where there's still been activity moving through. So there is a flood warning for Centennial Wash because the waters are still rising there. Just a heads up. Obviously not a super populated area, but if you happen to be going out that direction, there may be some issues with actually passing any low-lying wash areas. And then that lighter green box you see is a new flood advisory that just popped up like 30 seconds before we went on, which is why I was rushing to get sat down currently because I was trying to put this graphic together. Just because of the rain that's been pretty consistently falling over that west edge of Maricopa County, they put out a flood advisory due to, again, some road ponding, some washes might be running that are typically dry, that kind of thing. That's the view of the valley, but then we can also look up to the north of the valley where we do have a little bit more steady rain. I'm actually going to flip over to our other radar view so that it's a little more clear of a picture. There we go. So it's scattered around Wickenburg, Yarnell, a little bit steadier, a lighter rain in Prescott, a bit steadier rain in Payson, and then as we run up the 17, you can see the snow that's falling over the San Francisco peaks. Yeah, and this overnight they reported 3 inches of snow. And then since then, this morning, it has been snowing additionally. So I am eager to hear what they say they've picked up so far. I imagine they're pretty good on social media. So probably later today, they'll say like, oh, we've got another couple inches or whatever it's been.
This is just in the higher elevations, though, correct?
Yes, just like, actually, if we zoom into Flag itself, you'll see that Flagstaff, like in downtown, it's rain. But on the peaks, it is snow.
Snowing.
Now, there is a chance that Flagstaff could end up seeing a little mixing by, I think, like late Wednesday night, early Thursday morning of some snow. But even if that happens,
flip to this just to look. This is, that might be frozen.
It is frozen.
Oh,
That's what I was just trying to show Krystal as I pulled this up on my traffic cameras.
Oh, yeah,
and
it's frozen.
It doesn't show,
but nonetheless, there is some showers passing through. I know.
Kind of typical for this Tuesday. Nothing's really working.
What also is weird is that I used it earlier this morning and I could see the rain, and now it's frozen on what looks like a
nice
picture
clear day.
from like a sunny day. So I don't know how that even happened. But anyways, regardless, it's not snowing in Flagstaff, but it may snow a little later on this week as we kind of.
I think there's snowing in the Grand Canyon earlier, a little bit, right?
There was a couple little flakes mixing in, and then it turned over to rain. The temperatures all kind of borderline, which, it's that time of year where the temperatures are still warm. The ground is still warm as well. But there's the futurecast as we move forward and we move through the rest of today. There will continue to be some chances for like on-off spot showers or storms to pop in the valley. This is around noon on the model. But most of it, as you can see, is north of the valley and west of the valley. A couple scattered storms may start to develop by later this afternoon and this evening off in the east part of Arizona. But for the most part today, eastern Arizona is missing out because the center of the low pressure center that is pushing all this moisture in is still like way in California. So we're on what is technically the outer edge of this thing. And that's why we have chances through the rest of today, through tomorrow, and even through Thursday morning because we're on the outer edge. So this will start to press a little closer to Arizona overnight. So there we are, scattered storms pretty much across the state, including in the valley. That's tomorrow early morning. Another round passes the valley, and then it lifts up into Yavapai and Coconino again. And then watch what happens as we go into the afternoon. More rain starting to move in. So you're going to have these waves where it's like, oh, it's sunny, it's dry, we're done. And then 2, 3, 4 hours later, you're like, oh, it's raining again.
Wow.
So this will continue into Wednesday afternoon, even Wednesday evening. But you can see by tomorrow afternoon, now the east part of the state is getting a better chance of some pockets of steady or heavier rain, even as this continues to churn through. The White Mountains will likely see a little bit of a turnover to snow as well. And this is early morning hours of Thursday. And depending on where this sets up, this is when I was saying you could get some snow showers in Flagstaff, but it depends on where the moisture sets up if Flag's going to end up. So I don't have high hopes for like any big totals of accumulation for Flag. In fact, we showed this at 10 a.m., but I want to show it off again just for people that might have missed out. Totals are not great, like I said, for Flagstaff, under an inch, and it would melt if it does make it to the ground. But for the North Rim, like 3 to 6 inches, Snowbowl is like 6 to 12 or maybe even a little more. And then 4 to 8 for parts of the White Mountains and the Sunrise area, which is really good news for our ski locations because so far they haven't really picked up anything. And Snowbowl is hoping to open on Friday. Also, the good thing is their temperature has been really cool, so they've been able to make snow. So
that was cool. You showed us that the other day of them. You could actually see the snow-making equipment up there.
Yeah, so of course they need temperatures that are cold, and then on top of that, they the days that it's going to stay cold into the day is most beneficial to them because they can actually maintain the snow they're making, which they work with a pretty like sophisticated crew to make sure that they're
not wasting their time.
Exactly.
And actually, that snow's going to stick around for a while.
Yes, exactly.
Well, last year they had the longest season, I think, on record, 185 days, we said?
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
The year before, I think they had set a record.
Yes.
And then we, topped it. So maybe we'll do it again this year. That'd be amazing.
I feel like we've had a pretty wet year. Yes. I mean, the monsoon season at the end was very active.
I would say yes and no. We are going to end the year with above average rain total at Phoenix Sky Harbor, which we haven't done in several years. But that was all because of that like 3 inches we picked up that first week of October, which put us in from deficit to slightly above average. So that's exciting that we are going to end the year above average. And this time of year, fall can be pretty dry. So having any rain this time of year is also always exciting for us. Flash flood risk, the areas in yellow are at like a 2 out of 4 on the scale for some scattered flash floods possible. And then the areas in green, which does include the valley, that's like a 1 out of 4 on the scale. So although that's not like a major risk or anything, often, most times out of the year, we're at a 0 out of 4. So anytime we're on the scale at all, it's worth monitoring for maybe some low-lying areas or like street, road ponding if we get any heavier storms moving through. And I would suspect that tomorrow it'll be kind of a similar expectation in terms of that possibility for us.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. We
appreciate it. Then we'll have you back tomor're.
Yeah, I think we'll be chatting tomorrow, maybe even Thursday morning as we continue with these chances, guys.
So this is the Tempe cam looking off to the west, and you can, like you're just talking with Krystal about those dark clouds. So we're going to continue to see these kind of off and on throughout the rest of the day today and into tomorrow. So just get ready for it, right?
Nice change. A lot of people are really appreciating it and enjoying the fall-like weather, especially leading into the holiday. Speaking of holidays, are your decorations up, Ty? I know they are.
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a big decorator.
Well, I decorate inside, and we have one strand of lights that goes in the roof line, and it's in a ball by the front door.
Oh, who's going to untangle that?
Not me. Not me.
Listen.
Ready to go up. But you have to be careful.
You do. Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Sarah Noll from APS. We kind of are all over the place this morning, so we apologize.
No, you're
But
good.
thanks for coming in, because this is kind of the time of the year when a lot of folks are doing that decorating for the holidays. And there's a lot of things that people need to be very careful with, right?
Absolutely, yes.
That ball of lights?
The ball of lights,
ball
be
of lights.
cautious of that. Be aware where those are. But yes, we always hear the debate, do you start decorating before Thanksgiving? Do you wait till after? But we do notice that the couple weeks after Thanksgiving, we see the highest number of falls from ladders.
Oh.
So we want to make sure that everyone is being safe while you're hanging those lights that are maybe sitting by your door waiting to go up.
I think it's so interesting that you guys get those reports too, because you think APS, you're thinking power bills. I thought you were going to say we see a big surge in the use of power going up, and you surprised me with the ladder comment.
Well, you always want to start with how do you get to your lights, right? You start the basics. You want to check your lights, make sure that they're in good working condition. Some of us have lights that we use year after year after year, and so as you get those out, you get a ball of lights, right? You want to make sure that the cords aren't frayed before you put all the effort in to hang those up, to make sure that they're safe. You also want to make sure that as you're reaching, right, whether it's decorating a tree, hanging your lights inside or outside, that you are using the right ladder or equipment to do so, I know it's very tempting to just kind of like look around your living room and be like, what could I stand on?
What can I stand on?
Yes, I do that all the time.
That little table looks great.
Yeah.
And make sure you have a spotter too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Someone to catch you.
Or hold you accountable to not stand on that
There you
top
go.
ring,
That's
right?
true.
It looks like a step, but you're definitely not supposed to stand on
You
that.
got some props.
We love props, Sarah.
All right.
What's the first thing we have here?
As we're thinking about our lights, we wanted to make sure that we're safe.
Okay.
And that we don't cause any issues with overheating.
Oh, she brought cool. This is so you're not going to burn our table, Sarah?
That's correct. We do not want to burn the table, but we
look at
brought a
this.
number of lights
here we
to
go.
look at.
So these are kind of like the old school ones that
I
a lot
love
of people still
those.
have, right?
Yes. You know, a lot of people probably still do have these incandescent light bulbs. And so.
Do we need to step back?
No, we're being safe about it.
Do we have a fire extinguisher?
We had
just
an
in case,
incident.
Sarah?
We had an incident with another department many years ago.
Oh.
So we always ask, should we step back?
No. These are just light bulbs. They will be safe. And so, but the thing to keep in mind with the incandescent is that they do heat up, which is why we brought the silicone pad to make sure that we didn't cause any damage to the table here. But the traditional light bulbs, if they're incandescent, just people need to keep in mind they do get very hot. And if you check the box, you know, if you still have the box for those light bulbs, they'll say don't put them around curtains, anything fabric, because they can start fires.
These are outdoor lights then.
Outdoor or indoor. So you have to be,
Just turn that on. Feel how hot those
You
are.
can put your hand around it.
We have a
and feel
comment from someone saying that they use those super micro LED lights and they just leave them up, and that way no one can see them because they're so tiny.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah, and so these ones here are the LEDs, and they're not hot at all. Like you could.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Fernandez is saying you can easily overpower your circuits if you have too many of those plugged in.
Yes, he's correct.
Oh, wow.
And so the thing to keep in mind, and if you read the box, always make sure that you know everything's good. But these, they'll say only string like 2 to 3 of them together because of how much energy they use. You could overload your circuits, just like I think Mike said. They'll overheat. And so, but with these LEDs, they use far less energy. This box said you could string 90 of them together.
Wow.
We're going to have to take a quick break. Absolutely. We'll have you stick around, 2-minute break. And then the question I have after the break is, can you still buy those old school lights that are a little bit dangerous?
Quick break. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. We're learning so much from Sarah with APS here. We're talking about safety, and these were the incandescent. We were asking you, Anita had a great question.
Can you still buy those?
You absolutely can. So when you're going to the store, if you're getting new Christmas decorations, make sure you check the box and you know what you're buying.
Sure.
This might be a good use case if you're putting them outside. They're going to be hung outside. They're not going to be against any fabric or anything. You're not putting them on your Christmas tree that might be live. You want to make sure you're watering those so they don't become a fire hazard. So just know what you're doing, and keep in mind you can only plug 2 or 3 of them in together. So you'll want to
what are they called, like marrying them? Or
so you can plug them in together, but only 2 or 3 of them, and you want to make sure that you're plugging them into different
outlets,
circuits, different outlets within the outside. So if you get the LEDs, you can do a lot more with those, and they'll use a lot less energy as well.
I love that. You were just saying that you guys did a little example and had them on a card table, and it actually melted the card table.
It started melting the plastic on the card table.
So
and if you're not careful, they get very hot.
You also brought one of my favorite decorations, a candle. Everyone loves candles.
It is the season, right?
Yeah.
It starts getting cooler out. You want to cozy up with a candle and just get like the fun holiday scent in your home. So just another reminder, right? To keep an eye on the candles. They can become a fire hazard. Make sure they're not next to your Christmas tree or other decor. And always remember to blow them out when you leave the room, because fires definitely are in the increase around the holiday season because there's just so much more decor out. And another thing to keep in mind, there's the wax melts, and also there's new candle lights that just kind of the lamps that melt the candle. You still get the smell but no open flame. So another thing to keep in mind that could potentially
we have
reduce fire
options.
hazards. Yes.
We can still feel like the holidays, and we have options.
Sarah, what is that thing?
This is for when you're outdoors. A couple of things to keep in mind. Make sure that you're using outdoor rated equipment. So this, you could plug
Especially
bunch of
your... Especially the rain right now?
Especially the rain. And another thing that people don't always think about is your irrigation lines. Where is that water coming out that you might not usually see because it's probably in the morning or something? But you want to make sure that you're not putting one of these right by your irrigation, and because we definitely don't want water and electricity to mix. So make sure you have outdoor rated equipment. If you are hanging, your lights or those inflatables outside, those are very popular. Make sure you're also connecting those to the ground so that they're not flying away, causing different safety hazards. We definitely don't want those hitting power lines or anything like that. So make sure that we've got all the right things outdoors.
All right, while we've got you here, of course, you have a big event with APS every single year, the APS Light Parade. Such a fun tradition for so many families here in the Valley. I think we actually have some video from years. Oh, that is definitely not
the light
that is
parade.
Definitely not the APS Light Parade.
We can recreate it. Give me those lights. Give me those lights.
Only these ones, don't touch those.
How many entries this year? Do we know?
I don't actually know, but it is a growing parade. It is our 38th year.
Wow.
Yes, we're very excited about it. That will be December 6th at 7 p.m. Have you guys gone?
I have. It's so much fun.
I love it.
I do too.
I actually volunteer, and I oftentimes I'm a balloon handler, so you carry the balloons down the parade.
The big ones?
Yes.
That's a big job.
It is so much fun.
Your arms must hurt for days afterward. You have to go lift like heavy milk jugs.
Yes,
But tell us about the routes and where's like the best place for folks to get that beautiful view of the parade.
Yeah, so the parade goes by the entire route. There we go.
Yay.
Perfect. So you can find out the entire route information if you go to phoenix.gov/ELP for Electric Light Parade.
Okay.
And that way you'll have all of the information, the timing, the route, when road closures are going to happen. So encourage people to get there early. Oh, see those balloons.
That's you. We could probably see you in the background.
5 times bigger than you. I just Googled, I did a quick search on the APS Light Parade.
Yeah.
And it takes you to the website and all the info. There's a map of the route as well, so you know where to set up and what areas to avoid.
Rain or shine, it will be on. Dress warm.
Okay.
Once the sun goes down, you're like, you might get there early. Once the sun goes down, it does cool off a bit, but it is such a good time. There's so much community. There's so much history and memories that are made. Yeah, it's so fun.
It's a great way to ring it in. Well, Sarah, thank you so much for coming in. We really appreciate it. This has been fun.
I'm volunteering Ty to be a balloon handler this year.
Yeah, join us.
Can I come help?
Please.
All right, perfect. I'll go hit the gym so I can keep those biceps in check.
We're going to need to.
Hold on to them, yeah.
All right, we're going to take another look outside because we keep talking about how beautiful the weather has been today. And Krystal was talking about the fact that we are going to continue to see that rain today, possibly into tomorrow as well, and then maybe even a few sprinkles and maybe even some snow showers for some of those higher elevations.
Yeah, Snow Bowl
up in the Flagstaff
is set to
area.
open on Friday.
Yes,
for
indeed.
the first day, so that's an exciting season. We might be checking in with a little bit more on that, so we'll talk a little bit more about Snow Bowl and other holiday-related stuff. But first, we want to talk about a mentorship program that is really exciting.
So
Good
our
morning,
next
ladies.
guests, we have Mary and Jill.
Hi.
And
Hi, good morning.
How's it going?
Oh, the Christmas lights.
I know, right? Sorry, I'm sorry.
We're going to hit the gym with you.
Okay, yeah, we can all volunteer.
I'll be balloon handler.
Those balloons are massive.
That was fun.
Right?
Yeah, that was very cool. I forget that even exists. So that was a good reminder of like.
It's so much fun. If you've never been, it's time. Holidays
It's exciting,
are here.
isn't it? Yeah.
Let's talk about what you guys do.
Oh man, loaded question. In terms of mentorship, we own a company called Girls Mentorship. So we teach life and personal development skills to teen and tween girls. We do that through summer camps and after school programs. Mentorship being confidence. Have you ever had a fight with a friend that you really didn't know how to resolve? Critical thinking skills. A lot of things that are either lagging, meaning that they are running behind, or completely lacking, not only in Gen Z, Gen Alpha, but in a large adult population as well.
Excellent point, because I feel like so many of the tween girls growing up, everyone's on their phone. They text. That's how. If you call them, they won't answer.
We're gonna ignore you.
They text,
and then they'll text you right back.
They text you right back,
or they'll snap you.
The
snap.
Even better. But we're not really learning how to effectively communicate.
We're not, right. Yeah, and that's exactly what we teach. So think of the things that school doesn't have a ton of time to focus on.
Or some parents,
or some parents too. And we're not knocking on any parents. They're doing the best with what they can. But we have a space specifically to talk about those things in terms of reputation management. How do you want to be known? How are you showing up? Really developing their awareness so that they then can be in choice in who they're becoming. Because a lot of times external noises or the world around us, social media, will tell them exactly who they will be.
Or who they should be.
Think they should be.
Because you don't realize the AI stuff that comes out now.
Yeah.
I mean, you really can't decipher what's real, what isn't.
Right.
And then also you're comparing yourself to people who maybe are using filters.
Aren't real at all.
You know, or have different means and can afford and buy different things that make them look a different way.
Absolutely.
And that is, I mean, that's a tough thing to compare yourself to.
100%.
We have a big conversation within our programs, depending on where we are in the curriculum, around what's called Instagram face. And it's a way for developers to keep the cortisol levels high in our brain. Like, we're getting that dopamine hit to be like, oh, I like this. Keep me on this algorithm. We all know that word, but it's what is popular, what's trending right now. So girls tend to look at that and think, oh my God, I need to start looking like that. So it's silent trends, it's loud trends. Like, we're definitely being developed by the time we're spending on our phones.
And what we're trying to do is tell them otherwise. You are exactly enough the way that you are. Your uniqueness is what makes you stand out versus you trying to conform to everybody else's expectations of you.
So what can they do other than scroll social media? I mean, Ty and I are avid readers, and we started reading when we were kids. Are we encouraging kids, put this down and go back to the old school ways?
I wouldn't even say go back. I would say, how do we infuse hobbies, just blanket hobbies back into the mix? So reading is great. I mean, there is a whole subset of book talk. I don't want to demonize being online as if it's always a bad thing, because there are several good places and things you places you can go online, but like Book Talk is huge. What we're seeing is a lot of our girls loving to crochet and do needlepoint, right? So we are bringing back old hobbies. However,
yeah, well, and also we need girls to know when social media is impacting their self-esteem. They need to have almost like a barometer to say, ooh, is this thing, like who I'm following or what I'm following, is this bringing me joy and happiness? Or am I feeling like I'm down in the dumps and I'm comparing myself and telling myself that I'm not enough?
That's huge. And I think, how hard is that to teach, though? Because I can only imagine, like, that's not something that, I mean, as adults, sometimes I think we fall into that trap as well. You look at other people on the Instagram, you know, like, oh, look, their life looks so much better. They're making more money than I am. They've got a nicer car than I do.
Right.
It's hard to fall into those traps.
Practice.
It's an overall,
Practice,
it's an
yeah.
overall
Yeah.
like a overall sense of self-awareness. That's the foundation of what we teach. So if you don't know how you're feeling when you walk into any given situation, take this for example. We always get asked if we're nervous coming here, and it's like nervous is the same feeling as excitement. So how do you tell yourself that I'm excited as opposed to nervous? Or if I walk into my math class and I just had a fight with my mom because we were running late and I didn't pack my lunch and I forgot my laptop and all the things, right? There's a snowball of reasons. Am I going to be able to focus if I don't actually acknowledge that feeling was existing? Or if it's sixth period and I'm really hungry, do I hear what the teacher's saying? How do I acknowledge that I'm hungry to be able to stay present, right? So it's just little tools and skills that we're teaching these girls to be able to acknowledge where their mindset is, because we do have control over our mindset.
So I'm an oversharer, I think.
Oh, me too.
Right? And so this morning,
I'm so glad I'm sitting at this table.
I'm glad you're here. I got a flat tire on the way to work. And so A, call the husband, but B, then I call my manager, and then I walk in and I tell everyone about the situation because how do I focus on work if my car is sitting in the parking lot with a flat tire? I don't know if I'm going to get home. And so I share. And I say, this is how I feel. This is what happened. And then I feel like I get a little bit of feedback. Like Ty says, well, maybe you need to do this. And then maybe I'll tell you the story and you'll say, well, maybe you need to do that. And then I start getting a little bit of feedback and some opinions. And then I can say, okay, this is how I'm making my decision.
Absolutely.
Good, bad?
Yeah. Excellent.
Okay.
That's a really great strategy. And every strategy is going to be different for other people and for people. So one of the things, if we're going to go along the lines of your example of getting a flat tire, we get to say, okay, is that unfortunate circumstance going to completely ruin your day? Or are you going to have choice in that to choose another way of being so that you can not allow that to completely bulldoze the day, but that you can, acknowledge it and then say, same you, new mood, let's move on.
We've got 30 seconds left, but real quick, give us an information where people can find more info, because you guys, I think, are doing some amazing work.
Thanks so much. We're Girls Mentorship all over every platform.
Okay.
So spelled the traditional way, there's no Y's, there's no Z's in that. It's Girls Mentorship on the .com, as well as where we spend most of our time on Instagram. So
Very
there's
cool.
a lot of information about our after-school programs, summer camps, and then ways in which people can contact us if they have other questions.
We hope you come back.
Yeah, please do.
Absolutely.
Anytime.
Thanks for having
You're
us here.
invited. Open door. You know where we are.
Holidays. Wow. Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to more of FTT Fox 10 Talks. If you've just discovered us, Des, we were chatting with a new entrant in the chat box today.
Ooh, hello.
And I think Syleste thought maybe he was either from France or is French, something like that.
Why? Why so?
Well, because I pulled up, because Big D gave me the list of the countries that are watching our streaming show. And this is the coolest thing. Ready? I'm going to pull it up to you. I revealed it to the audience before. So, of course, the U.S. is number one. In the last 7 days, U.S. number one, Canada number two, UK number three,
wow,
Brazil number four, and then it goes Germany, Mexico, and once again, Uzbekistan.
Oh,
we're big we're big with the Uzbek audience.
All right.
And then I went to Dave and I said, what's our travel budget? Because what we would like to do is do the show from Uzbekistan.
All right.
Now, I don't think they speak English over there, but I think they would still appreciate us just doing the show from Uzbekistan.
I vote Brazil if that counts for anything.
Oh, yeah. Wouldn't you love to see Rio once in your life? That kind of
yes,
thing?
I really would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. And Sao Paulo, and what's the waterfall they have down there that's like bigger than Niagara Falls? Iguazu, I think it's called. Iguazu Falls.
Okay.
My grandma,
I'll go to all of them.
get this, when JFK gave his speech back in the 60s about how America needed to do more to help around the world, my grandma, who at that point was almost 60, was a high school English teacher, walked in and gave her resignation for at the end of the year and entered the Peace Corps and moved to Brazil.
Wow.
To help for 2 years.
Where, Rio or?
Oh, no, just a little village called Miranda.
Oh.
Kind of out in the jungle.
My goodness.
I know.
I'm sure she came back with so many stories to tell.
She did. Yeah. And so, ever since then, I've always wanted to kind of go to Brazil, but I just thought that was so great.
Well, you'll make it there. You've been everywhere else.
I know. Time to start exploring Brazil and Uzbekistan. The video today. Oops, hold on here. I think I got it. Oh, no. Okay, you guys. I'm just looking for either VO1 or VO2.
I got to bring it back in.
Okay. It'll take a sec. Yeah, no worries there. But did you have to deal with the rain at all today? Either driving in or as you were headed out to a live shot?
You know what? Got lucky. Missed it driving in.
Okay.
I could tell it had rained overnight.
Right. The roads were wet.
Yeah. And then, on the way out we were at the zoo this morning.
Okay.
We didn't run into any rain, so I guess we were just lucky, staying in the right bubbles.
I've heard that the animals get a little more, I don't know, frisky or kind of energetic, right, when it rains. Was it like that, or were they mostly asleep out there?
No, it seemed quiet. And early in the morning, too, most of them are sleeping when we're out there doing our live shots or having breakfast. We fed some eels.
Oh, yeah.
So
those eels.
Cool.
Oh, man, they eat and eat and eat, especially breakfast. What do you feed an eel for breakfast?
They were eating, I think, squid. Squid.
Okay, that sounds like a circle of life.
Yummy.
Look at this pic right here. So off to the right, you can't quite see it, but obviously there were some emergency personnel over to the right. Hopefully it was just a fender bender, but boy, the 101 was tough this morning. I had posted some pictures from the Superstition Freeway where it was just pea soup out there at about Country Club. You know, I mean, look at this guy driving around right there. You got a semi passing him, and the windshield workers are working overtime, and you're just hoping that everything stays safe out on the roads. Then look at this. This is good, because this is the station where it was just pouring in the overnight hours. And then I think we might have one more here, which I really loved the shot of the palm trees out in Goodyear this morning when Krystal was doing her weather at about, I think it was at about 6:45 or so. Maybe it was around 7-ish. But all the palm trees out there in the rain with kind of that early morning rainy sky, kind of the gray, bluish, grayish sky. It was really kind of pretty. And hey, look, we never complain about the rain around here because we need it.
Oh, yeah, we do. We'll take it.
Yeah. And then Sky Fox was flying around. Look at this. little bit difficult to see, that's for sure. So anyway, we have plenty of weather coverage, and we're going to be hanging out with Krystal for the next few days. You know, she says it's going to keep going for probably 2 more days, Wednesday and Thursday.
Yes, yeah, and she's keeping an eye on all of it, especially the weekend too.
Yes, right.
You know, folks want to get out and enjoy these nice weekends that we have finally.
Right?
So
yeah. Well, we all put a lot of pressure on her.
Though.
We said, Krystal, that's it. I mean, after last weekend, we're like, could you make these storms come through on Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday?
Yeah.
And she's kind of, so far, it's working out pretty well.
My request is to her, wrap it up by the weekend because the twins got a birthday party Saturday morning.
I love it. Okay,
like,
so let's talk about the big story besides the weather, which is the vote. We're still standing by up on Capitol Hill for the vote on the Epstein file release. And by the way, Chuck Schumer apparently just spoke and said, you guys pass that, you get it over here. We'll get it passed. Now, he's the minority leader. We still need to hear from John Thune. But I can't think that it would be a smart political move to suddenly hold it up in the Senate. Seems like it'll sail through there as well. But anyway, some of the victims were speaking this morning from the actual steps of the Capitol. Here's some of that.
I was called a traitor by a man that I fought for 6 years for. And I gave him my loyalty for free. I won my first election without his endorsement, beating 8 men in a primary. And I've never owed him anything, but I fought for him for the policies and for America first. And he called me a traitor for standing with these women and refusing to take my name off the discharge petition. And will the list of names that these women privately hold, and they hold it because of their fear in their heart of what would happen to them if they release it on their own, will that list of names come out? That's the real test.
If you decide to read those names on the House floor for immunity, I will be more than happy. No security needed. I will stand beside you. I will hold your hand. I will hold your coat in solidarity with you.
I believe he's trying to protect friends and donors. And by the way, these aren't necessarily Republicans. Once you get to $1 billion, you transcend parties. You just assume you can pay off whatever party is in charge of the White House, whatever party is in charge of the House of Representatives. And this is about those kinds of people. I think he's been trying to protect them.
Coming from the dance world, I was recruited in 2004 after a systematic breaking down where Epstein leveraged my mother's brain tumor scans. He threatened me to withhold care for her. He trapped me in a year-long cycle of abuse.
First, the administration said it would release everything and applauded President Trump for that. Then it fought to release nothing. Now that checks and balances of our democracy have worked and the bill is getting passed to release the files, we are hearing the administration say they intend to investigate various Democrats who were friends with Epstein. I beg you, President Trump, please stop making this political. It is not about you, President Trump. You are our president. Please start acting like it. Show some class. Show some real leadership. Show that you actually care about the people other than yourself. I voted for you, but your behavior on this issue has been a national embarrassment.
You didn't just make a small dent.
You made a monumental impact, a resounding statement that echoed across the world.
So our chief editor, Jeff Haggerty, did a great job putting that together. That's about an hour plus news conference with some of the highlights of people speaking, and it's just so powerful.
Yeah, I mean, especially that last victim, they lost a loved one because of all of this, and whoever's names are wrapped up in it or whatever these documents are going to reveal, I mean, it deserves to come out.
Yeah.
So we'll see what that vote leads to.
And part of the whole chatter there about Marjorie Taylor Greene had said she might, if they keep redacting the names of the most powerful men who reportedly might be in these files, that she would just go onto the floor of the House and read them. We had Josh Kolsrud here last hour saying if it's classified and she releases it, it's a crime.
Oh, then she's facing charges.
Yeah, who knows whether that's going to happen or not. But we had Josh on. By the way, Adelita Grijalva has finally been sworn in, and she was the one that kind of helped tip the balance to get this thing going. She spoke, and so did Mike Johnson, and here's some of that.
The way the discharge petition was drafted is haphazard and dangerous. This is why we have been opposed to this point, okay? And I could be here for a long time going through all the details of it, but the big concern we've all had all along is that the House bill, if it's passed in its current form and it was signed into law, it is dangerously flawed. And our problem and our frustration is there's no way for us in the House to amend it or correct these problems because the authors of the discharge will not allow it. And that's one of our great frustrations.
I'm not standing here because Congress suddenly found courage. I'm standing here because survivors forced Washington to pay attention. Your voices, your persistence, and your truth got us to this moment. Today is about something very simple. The American people deserve the truth. Survivors deserve justice, and no one, no matter how powerful, should be protected by secrecy. This vote, this transparency, and this accountability are long overdue. We know now that thousands of pages released thus far are only the tip of the iceberg. And that matters, because without full transparency, we cannot have justice.
Okay, and there is the floor of the House right there. So, again, we're standing by. It looks like the vote will, I guess the big question is, will it still be a close vote? Or will a lot of Republicans come over to the side on this? And let's see what the final vote is, because do you want your name on the opposite side of the, in the House? They want the files released to begin the process of true investigation. Sure, it'll be politicized, but do you want your name associated with trying to stop that?
Mm-hmm. And it said the vote is expected today at 2:00. Is that our time or is that East Coast time?
I think it's our time, but we'll just keep watching. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it really seems like they'll give a time frame and then speeches.
So,
people got to give speeches, got to take advantage.
Yeah.
So who knows? It might not be till 4 or 5 or whenever, but it looks like it will be getting done today. So that obviously is one of our big stories. If you haven't voted yet in the poll question, we're going to just kind of update you on where things stand right now. Grab that QR code. That'll be coming up after the break and a whole lot more. But now it's time for the Mystery Cam. We'll be right back. Well, I'll tell you this much, Des. Sweet Pea, by the way, and they're saying, good morning, Des.
Good morning.
And so we have a lot of guesses, and everybody seems to agree so far. Brandon, Florida. Jenswall, Florida. Let's see who else. I haven't seen you guys with the Tucson jokes lately. Could it be Tucson?
And they have given up. They're like, not one time have you guys given the people what they want on these mystery cams.
That's a good point, Des.
And have let it be Tucson.
So, Sweet Pea says, possible California. That was my first thought. But I don't think
Sweet Pea.
The bridge that goes over to Coronado, but I don't think the bridge is that long. Louis is saying Texas. I guess I'm going to go with everybody and say FLA.
And I don't know why, with all the rain, too, I feel like Coronado would be gloomy looking today.
Oh, yeah.
Like along with us.
I feel like over there, they probably feel like we've had a week straight of rain.
Yeah.
Because it started like last Thursday.
Right. California.
Friday.
A lot.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be getting it for a couple more days. What do you think? You going to go Florida as well or somewhere else?
I'm going to go Florida, too. I don't think it's California.
All right.
Yeah.
Here she is, everybody.
Oh, okay. We're all off.
Oh, no. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, Bay
St. Louis. And I should know that because I went there.
Wow. This doesn't look familiar?
Let me go back to it here. My mom...
It's a very long bridge off in the distance.
It was about a year after Katrina. And my mom called me up and she said, hey, I and a group of volunteers from our church up in Washington are going to go down and work on houses. Do you want to join?
And you said?
I said, absolutely.
Oh.
And she said, it's going to be a little town called Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. And this is that very town. Now, of course, life is good. They got the bridge rebuilt. A lot of those abutments on the bridge had no concrete canopy on top of them. The bridge had collapsed in many sections. And the main thing I remember about Bay St. Louis, Des, was driving around, and it was April... I think it was 2 years after Katrina. And there was a boat that had been swept ashore like 6 blocks inland, still sitting in the parking lot of an old movie theater that had not reopened. Gee whiz. The power of Katrina is something that hopefully that area or any area we'll never see again. But anyway,
that was devastating.
None of us got it, you guys. It was
We
Mississippi.
all right. Better luck tomorrow.
Shall we continue on with the poll question? We gave you the QR code. Feud between Taylor Greene and the president. Whose side are you on here? 58% say Trump. Look, if he had actually done something wrong with all of they call it Oppo research, somebody would have come up with it, dug it up, and released it. But this never happened. 34% say, look, I'm with her. It seems like she only cares about these victims, so I'm with her. And 8% say, in a way, sort of they both are. Let's just get to the truth. How about on YouTube, Des? Oh, hold on. Oh, that was, sorry. Right. Okay. I had a note on that. Here it comes, everybody. Go for it, Des.
Oh, look at this. We've got 2,000 votes on YouTube. Who made this larger? This is incredible.
Big D.
Thank you, Dave.
Yep.
I can read it.
I know.
All right. That's so much better. Wow. 2,000 votes here. So 25% are going with the first option, saying they feel President Trump is wrong. 47% say, no, you know what? Green, she only cares about the victims. I'm going with her. 28%, more than the poll we were seeing, the numbers we were seeing in the other poll, at only 8%. 28% think they're both somewhat in the right, I guess.
When it comes to the Epstein files, you can tell people are pretty passionate. Des, yesterday's YouTube poll question is closing in on 10,000 votes.
Wow, what are they saying?
Well, we did a poll Q-Re-Q on it last hour, and, again, it was kind of split between the two. So, it's, I don't know. For the most part, it seemed like people were kind of evenly split with all three options. So not super strong in any way. But this one, as you can see as well. Okay, so big thing in Washington today was the leader of Saudi Arabia, MBS, Mohammed bin Salman, came to the White House.
Wow.
And you should have seen that they roll out the red carpet where you have a bit of that and then the actual sit down between the two of them. And obviously he's controversial. So here is some of what was getting said regarding all of that. Hold on here. I want to make sure I've got the right one. This should be, do we have the sound on?
For Josh Kolsrud?
No, beyond Josh, I see Sports Sitter. Oh, I think maybe he sent one more over. Do we have? Just double check here. Okay, so I had Nat Sound and Sots coming out of the poll question, but it would have been after Josh, and I don't see it right now. I just see Sports Sitters. But anyway, if we have that video, we will roll it. Okay, SOP 4. Okay, ready? Here we go.
Today and tomorrow we're going to announce that we are going to increase that $600 billion to almost $1 trillion of investment, real investment and real opportunity by details in many areas. And the agreement that we are signing today in many areas in technology, in AI, in earth materials, magnet, etc., that will create a lot of investment opportunities.
So you are doing that now. You're saying to me now that the $600 billion will be $1 trillion.
Definitely, because what we are signing, it will facilitate that, and we
I like
will
that
build
very
on
much.
it.
Well, there you go. And you know what's so interesting? Obviously, it's mostly oil money, Saudi Arabia, right? I mean, they are sitting on one of the world's largest oil reserves. And oil is all the way down to about $59 a barrel. It was not, at one point, it was well above $100 a barrel. But they still have so much money, they're going to spend $1 trillion here in the U.S. And by the way,
that's a big investment.
Yeah. You know, the president seemed like he was surprised that it was going to be $1 trillion. So anyway, all right. So there's some of that. Des, this story, it's called Sports Sitters, is this unique babysitting app where you can match your babysitting needs with Division I college athletes.
Isn't that cool? There's an app for everything.
I know. And I thought to myself, because they're trying to come up with NIL money, I guess is what it's called, for athletes who do deserve to get paid. I have felt that way for a very long time. So not all the money goes to these crazy coaching salaries or like rebuilding your locker room every 3 years. And so listen to a little bit of this and let's talk just a little bit about Sports Sitters. Going to roll it on. Oh, wait. SOP 5. Here we go.
A lot of families talk about how they want to push their kids and they want us to be a really good example for them. And they want us to be able to have their kids look up to us.
They are showing the community who they are. They're introducing children to their sport and hopefully influencing these kids to pick up a curiosity. Oftentimes they can't take a regular job because their meets are unpredictable, their schedule is different each week. They're in season, they're out of season. And this allows them to open the app and select work that works for them.
Definitely hard, especially in women's sports, to get like that extra NIL money and everything. So this is like such a great opportunity just for us to like get that and not always have to like rely on our parents for money.
How about that? I think it's so great.
Cool. When I heard the story this morning, I thought, how do they have the time though? I wasn't a collegiate athlete. I danced my whole life, but it wasn't with my college. But my husband obviously was a collegiate athlete. And I know how busy they were. Right. Between going to class, going to practice, traveling for games.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, when would they have the time? But I mean, otherwise, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, you're getting some, quality people to hopefully watch your children.
I think we've got a lot of the schools represented right there. Did you see as they were sitting there on the couch?
Yeah, it looks like ASU, GCU.
And U of A. Yeah.
Yeah.
So whichever school you support, now you connect with those athletes and a chance for them to help you with your babysitting needs
great
and
idea.
Get to know so your kids can get to know. By the way, if you want to learn more, you go to fox10phoenix.com. So, Des, so happy to announce that the word of the year for 2025 is, hold on here.
Is so ridiculous to me.
Right.
Wait until you guys hear this.
Okay. So
it's parasocial.
Parasocial.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we even know what it means?
We do, but it still like makes no sense to me.
Okay.
It meant something like, do we have the definition? Because I want to get it accurate. No. Let me look it up. But it was feeling a deep connection with someone you've never met, specifically celebrities, characters in a book or movie or TV series.
How about with an AI agent?
Relationships
Is that one of
with
them?
AI.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay. Well, these AI agents, they think they run the world already.
Yeah.
So now it's interesting because dictionary.com has also chosen their word, which was two numbers.
6-7.
Correct.
I still don't know what that means.
Yeah, it's like nonsensical, but you say it to a kid and they'll be like, you are so cool to say those two numbers. Some of the runners up, by the way, for word of the year, I thought this was interesting.
Okay.
Slop.
Slop?
Which is...
like Sloppy Joe?
Sorta. It's supposed to mean poor quality from an AI... every once in a while you go to AI, like the other day I'm chatting with AI and talking about the Whiskey Rebellion, from back in the 1790s. 1780s, 1790s. And so I said, hey, it said, do you want to see a map? And I'm like, sure, show me a map. So I go and I look at the map and they have Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in the state of Ohio. And I said, do you want to try that map again? You got Pittsburgh in the wrong state.
Oh, that's so
funny. AI is nowhere close to being accurate.
That was slop. Okay.
Memeify, which is a great word because it takes it and turns it into a verb.
Yeah.
You see a picture, you want to turn it into a meme. What do you want to do? You want to memeify it.
Memeify it. Okay, that makes sense.
I like that one.
Wow, what's the world coming to?
Let's see. What else? Broligarchy, which I didn't even look that one up, but I have a feeling that, it's bro dudes, bro billionaires who are like running their own oligarchy kind of a thing, right?
Okay.
Could be that one. Oh, gosh, we're out of time. The last one was Gen Z stare.
Gen Z stare.
Which is like
the whole thing?
when they don't even like what you said, correct, but the whole thing is they just stare at you. Like, oh, that's so cringe what you just said without actually having to speak the words. You're just like,
oh, I like how you use cringe there. That just like rolled off the tongue.
Thank you very much. I've also been known to say 6-7. Des, always amazing.
Well, how do they say bye these days? Peace out.
Peace out,
Bye.
everybody.
I don't know.
We'll be back tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.